I worked with a Sylvari sniper last year. He was eerily accurate.
They do that sometimes.
I'm glad we have those Norn on our side. We're gonna need their help.
After we push back Flame Legion, they're the ones I'd like to share land with.
Have you ever seen a statue of Scorchrazor?
Of course. She led a rebellion, brought females to the battlefield, and took down the shamans.
Someday I'll match her victories. And they'll make a statue of me.
That matron soldier is fierce.
I like him fierce. Where have you been?
I went out with Ritlock and his legionnaires.
You're kidding. Did he get in any fights?
Ritlock mocks and shames them. A few grim words and they concede defeat.
She's staring at you. Either she likes you, or she's gonna try to kill you.
Either way, I'm happy.
I want to see you again.
I didn't want to see you the first time. Get lost!
What's your problem? I'm just having a little fun.
When it disrupts my city, your fun is my problem.
These soldiers all trained hard at the Farrar, son.
They look mean.
Don't worry. Your Primus will teach you how to look mean like that, too.
How come I can't be a farmer like you, Mother?
You may be, my boy. You'll discover your talents at the Farrar, and then we'll see.
You got a problem?
Yeah, it's you. You want to settle it in the arena?
I was ready to settle it in the street. Anytime, pal. Those weak-willed fools in the Flame Legion are blinded by the lie of faith. We'll teach them the error of their ways.
Fully seated, or you will burst the barrel. Lastly, check there's nothing forward of the muzzle, and call out to your crew before igniting the charge. Then prime the vent and fire the weapon. Seems simple, but failure to follow these steps will result in death and mutilation.
A legionnaire reports to a centurion, who reports to a tribune, who reports to the Imperator.
And the 3 Imperators of the Legions, Ash, Blood, and Iron, all report to the Connor.
But we don't have a Connor, silly. So they can't.
Yes, they can.
Hush. They would report to the Connor if we had one, but we haven't found a new one yet. Follow me.
That's an adamant guard. The stick grubs in your ears if you look at him funny.
He will not. Will he?
He might, so behave. The Adamant Guard reports directly to Tribune Viewer Goreblade. They keep us safe. You must always be respectful to an Adamant.
Ow, stop pinching me.
Shh! On my heels. Move out, Warband!
I heard Imperator Smoter is really mean.
They don't call him the Unflinching for nothing. I heard he took his own eye out just to intimidate an enemy he was fighting.
No, he didn't. Did he?
The Imperator is a courageous soldier and a brilliant engineer. He's going to take the Iron Legion to a new level of power and advancement. Stay close. We're on the move.
She didn't deny it.
Told you so.
Gather round, soldiers. Up ahead, you see the Stormcaller Horn. The evil human sorcerer Rurik used it to massacre a Char brigade, led by our ancestral hero, Bonfaz Burntfur.
I already heard this story 1,000 times. He blew in the horn and it made fire rain down from the sky on our army.
All right, Smarty Tail. What else do you know?
I know that human Rurik ambushed us without warning. If I'd been there, I'd have ripped his throat out.
Good enthusiasm. Let's get a closer look. Let me tell you a little something about humans. They love their magic, and they believe in gods.
How come we don't kill them all then?
They're our enemy, and never forget that. But we have a greater enemy now.
I know. The dragons.
That's right. The awakening of the dragons has shifted the balance of power across the land. We have a new, more pressing enemy now.
I think we should feed the humans to the dragons. Then, kill the dragon.
Don't be stupid. The dragons won't eat icky humans. They just throw them at us.
Some believe as you do. Tribune Bright-Eye doesn't want a truce with the humans. Others, such as Tribune Kindleshot, disagree. There's a lot of argument about this.
Humans are scrawny. All the great heroes fought them, but they're not a threat anymore. And they divide our army if we war with them.
Well said. And on that note, let's move on. Stock warband, forward march!
Primus? Primus? Primus, I have to, you know...
Hold it. We're heading back to the Farrar now. The other teachers are expecting us. You can go when we get there.
I was taught never to question orders.
You were taught right. Fulfilling orders is your destination. Sometimes, however, you should question which road will get you there most efficiently. The most obvious one isn't always the best.
Have you tried that new military-grade jerky they developed at Rada Sum?
No, how is it?
Too dry, too thick, not enough juice. Reminds me of bone. You hear anything from the front lines?
Flame Legion's still fighting. The line's moving back. Slowly.
We have to snuff them out once and for all and stomp on the ashes.
This city of ours is the greatest in the world. The pinnacle of Char achievement.
Well said, citizen. But we're not done yet.
Hardly. This is the greatest city in the world. And it's only going to get greater.
You see that fight last night?
The Norn and the Solari? That was amazing.
Burly and fierce versus slender and tough. That Norn definitely earned her victory.
Cheer and virus things, too. That's the way she fights. I'll buy her a beer.
This is a grand and remarkable city, even by Asuran standards.
The Black Citadel is grand and remarkable by any standards.
Of course. I meant no offense.
None taken. I just want to make sure you have your facts straight. Why aren't we winning this war? Why isn't it over already? We need better leaders. What we need is a new Con-Ur. Yeah, once we've got a Con-Ur again, nothing's gonna stop us.
The problems associated with a city this large and diverse must be enormous.
And yet this place runs as smoothly as a spinning top.
The Char are great problem solvers. Give them one and they'll all work it until it's solved.
Please excuse us. A few adjustments to the interstitial matter matrix.
If it'll speed things up, I can recommend a good Char engineer.
Tell me about the Mist War. Is it worth my time? Worth the risk?
You want to know if defending the world is worth your time, your life? Go see for yourself. The portal lies in Lion's Arch.
You've heard the old saying about not beating your head against a brick wall?
Absolutely. It's better to pull out the one brick that brings the whole thing down.
To my mind, that aphorism describes the Char perfectly.
Oh, to my mind, they are quite capable of smashing through said wall.
And yet clever enough to know they don't have to, and shrewd enough to find the right brick.
Punk back again. You've got to rip into him this time. Without scars, he won't remember. I'll mark him so he never forgets.
Thanks for getting us out of there in one piece.
Yeah, even with the truce, I never thought a Char would rescue a human.
It's got nothing to do with the truce. In our city, everyone obeys the same rules.
I've been watching the Farrar Cubs train. Mine got another scar today.
One scar today makes a champion tomorrow.
You ever fight a Solari?
I've seen them fight. They're brave and clever.
I talked to a human who wrestled one. He said they bend, but don't break.
Remember the North?
We had to melt snow for water.
It was so cold we had to double up under the same blanket. Not something I want to do
Thanks
again.
for getting us out of there in one.
Step right up, warrior. One gate, no waiting.
We need more troops around this gate. I don't like having a back door to the Citadel.
I assure you, sir, my gate is perfectly secure. Nothing could go wrong.
Why'd you have to tell me that out in the Far West? Why did you just punch me in the face?
Yeah, it was miserable. First we had a huge, depressing jungle to slog through.
I hate jungle.
Then we got to a desert with hot, nasty wind and dusty air. It was like a furnace.
See the way he took that last punch?
Like they say, the ones you don't see the most. Well, did you do what I asked you to do?
Yeah, I put it back in its sheath. The Primus doesn't know you had me borrow it.
Good job, Cub. You passed the first test.
Don't be shy. The Mistborn needs folks.
That Asura merchant drives a hard bargain. Why do we bargain with them at all? This is our city.
You've got to think bigger. Commerce is the difference between our city and our great city.
Too bad we can't get more Norn allies to battle the Flame Legion.
At least they're joining the Vigil.
True.
I'm going to make my grandsire as proud as Pyre Fierceshot was of Kala's Scorch Razor.
That's not a tattoo. That's a battle scar.
It's so detailed. You're looking at him like a slab of beef.
That's right. You got a problem with that?
Yeah. You're blocking my view.
Why'd you have to tell me that? Why don't you just punch me in the face next time?
That was my original plan.
Hey, did that runt try to hit you up for money?
The Asura aren't so bad. That one gave me a fair price.
I don't trust them. You shouldn't either.
I'm looking for quality goods. I don't care where they come from.
Nice tattoo.
That's not a tattoo. That's a battle scar.
It's so detailed. I figured it had to be the work of a talented expert.
The one who gave it to me was an artist with the axe.
Why do you give the outsiders so much grief?
They're weak. I hate weakness.
But now they're insiders. Guys live here. I've seen
They have
fight
to earn the right to sleep,
things scratched up
just
real
like
bad.
the rest of us.
At least he fights. I know a lot of punks around here who are all talk.
If he goes back in, he won't talk anymore.
There was a gladium at the Serrated Blade last night who kept growling at me. Do you think she wanted to test herself against me?
What are you looking at, Mouse?
Right now, I'm looking at a Char who's looking for a fight he may not win.
You're all right. Carry on.
I picked up an ancient dwarven hammer. It's not battle-worthy, but it sure looks mighty.
Where'd all the Sylvari come from?
They're tougher than they look. Once they set down roots, they'll make this place stronger.
Do you have a moment?
My warband is still out in the field. I was dispatched here with a missive for the Imperator.
Where'd that coward go? Which one?
The one who's hiding from me.
Haven't seen him.
Why can't the Char be more polite?
You don't understand. He was being polite.
With all due respect, I think diplomacy and tact are required.
What, you think I should lie?
The matter requires subtlety.
Better to resolve it quickly, once and for all.
Perhaps you'd like to watch me fight in the Bane tomorrow.
You? In the arena? Nice knowing you.
I've got 6 bouts and 6 wins on my record. How many do you have?
Guess the twig's growing some bark. Yeah, I'll check it out.
How do you deal with all the threats and violence here?
It's not as bad as the human cities.
You're kidding.
I know when a Char wants to fight. Humans aren't as honest. How can you put up with it? The anger, the violence.
The world's changing. This place is safe. Outside, it's getting worse.
I've met one of the Ash Legion Tribunes. She looked like she could gut me just by looking at me.